Is this recording?
Maybe.
When you're ready.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Welcome back, guys.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi. So, in today's episode, we have a very special guest, which I'm very excited about. I've been waiting for this one for a long time.
No pressure.
No pressure. No pressure. And also, we have another special guest in the room with us today, Carl, right?
Yes.
And we got Sergio.
Hello.
In the house,
Hi.
Sergio Nasonte.
Hey.
And the very special guest of today's podcast is Aidan Martin.
Hello.
Yes.
How you guys doing?
Oh, great. Great. How are you
Good.
doing?
Good. I'm good. I'm shining. I'm here.
Oh,
Yeah.
we love it. We love it. I'm so happy that you're here, by the way.
Thanks for having me.
And actually, I'm also very happy that Sergio's here too.
Yes.
Because it feels like it was meant to happen.
Yeah, because we go way back.
Yeah, so you need to tell that story.
We need to get that out of the way, I think, don't we?
Yeah. So actually, when we were studying together, me and Sergio, he pulled me out. He's like, you need to come and see this amazing songwriter, artist. And I was very tired.
That's becoming a running theme, isn't it?
Today.
That's true.
You need more sleep, babe. You need
I
more
need sleep, but it's, I'm grinding, working hard. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go. And I just remember sitting on the chair and going, wow.
Oh,
Like,
nice.
wow. It was a breathtaking experience. And I believe you performed one of your songs.
I did.
You did, not believe.
Don't remember which one it was, but
Punchline.
Oh, that was it. That old chestnut.
Was Punchline, and I think it also spoke a lot with, like, the song spoke a lot with Sergio in terms of the lyrics.
Mm.
And
I think we can all relate a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah, me too, sadly. That's why I wrote.
So yeah, like, for me, I want to know, like, what's the story behind your beautiful song Punchline, and it created a massive adventure for you, right?
Yeah, definitely. It was, Punchline was like an interesting one because before it ever got on The X Factor and on the TV show, it had like a silent life of its own because I'd had it for like 2 years actually. It had been sat on my hard drive for 2 years and no one had really heard it. But I remember the day I wrote it, it was about an ex of mine. I'm not going to give too much airtime. but it was about an ex of mine. And I was in the studio with some great guys called Mac and Phil and a guy called Phil Plested as well, who are amazing songwriters. And we just wrote it. And I remember in the session actually, I was like, that line came out of just, I guess my heart never learns. And then the rest of it kind of just like followed from there, really. I remember walking in saying like, I love that song Clown by Emily Sandé. Like I really loved that. And I was, I am kind of jokey. Like I feel I'm back on the X Factor. This is exactly what I said, but it's true. I was like, I'm kind of jokey. I don't take things too seriously. And like sometimes that can like be a detriment in a way. Because then people kind of don't know when to take you seriously and when to not. And
yeah, I'm the same. It's like a defense memechanism.
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just make it jokes and then
like like an awkward moment, crack a joke, and they're usually dad jokes as well, which is the fucking fun of it.
Yes.
I know about that life.
But I just said like I'm seen as that, and I love being that guy. But at the same time, I got this serious side too, and I wanted people to see that side too. So like, yeah, we were in the session. I was like, I love Clown. I was like, I've thought of a title, Punchline, and like, I don't want to be the butt of the joke, the punchline to every joke. So that was kind of my idea going in. And then the song kind of just like wrote itself. But I do remember coming out of the studio that day and like, it was.
Like
It's not. It's not very often I have that moment where I'm like, shit, this is it. But that's definitely what it felt like, and I came out. The first person I always call when I wrote a good song is my mum. So I was like, Mom, I think I've got a good one. She listened, she loved it. And then anyway, that was that. Forgot about the song. Next day, get on with my life. 2 years, sat on my hard drive. And then obviously X Factor came out, the chance to be on the show, and they'd approached me a few years in a row, but I was like, no, I'm going to do this on my own. I'm going to, and then obviously, you know, I'm tired, I'm broke. I'm like, I need to pick me up. Trust me. So I decided, yeah, right. I was like, bitch, you can have me. Let's go for it. So I remember going for the audition, and I had 2 songs lined up to sing, really, and one was a cover, and then there was Punchline, and then the producers like pick which one it's going to be, so you have to sing both. So like Punchline, I did the cover first, and I was like, you know, just sang it like, oh, yeah. And then Punchline, I was like giving it. I was trying to like persuade them. This is the one I want. Could you tell?
Yeah.
And they said afterwards, after I sang it, they were like, it's obvious that you want to do that one. So I was like, okay, good. I'm glad you got the point. And then I sang it, and then then my life kind of changed after that. Yeah. It really, that song is, you know, it still pays my rent now. So it really has like gifted me so much, that song, and I wouldn't be where I am now without it.
You knew it within yourself that was the one, and you said it yourself.
I had a feeling, I had a feeling. I did. I knew that was like the right choice. Right?
Yeah, you put it out there, and like I'm a big believer. Like I said, we're here today, and we've met each other. And I remember because I told you on the phone that I drop a message on Instagram. Obviously, because you're very famous, I bet you get everyone messaging you.
Stop it.
But like, so I was like, oh my God, because it was Sergio's birthday, and I know how much like he loves your lyrics, and he wanted to write with you. That was one of the first things he had said to me, and I was like, oh, let me just message him. You never know my luck. But clearly it didn't happen that time.
Listen, we all have message requests that we don't read, all right?
No, because I'm famous. Folder. I'm sorry.
You know what I mean?
We're here now, but this is not the first occasion that this happened between me and Sergio. When I took you to see another artist, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make you meet him.
It's true.
Wow. I'm like that. I will.
I love it. Well, look, here we are. I mean,
here we are.
Who would have thought it? Here we go.
What are we writing?
If you need something, just ask Vania. We'll make it happen somehow. I don't know how, but yes.
I got magic fingers. But anyway, this is not about
I bet
this.
you do.
Oh, wow.
This podcast is just...
I went there. It's a podcast. Is that
legal? But yeah, so my question, another question I've got for you is, how was X Factor, and how did you find it?
It was actually like one of the most crazy, intense, beautiful experiences I've ever had in my life. And to be honest, I think anything else that I go through in my life will struggle to compare. I feel like...
Well, no. Come on.
No, but honestly, because I say that because it's such a particular experience where like you can go beyond and have successful moments, but like it's the vulnerability that you feel within that show, and the size of the power above you and what you represent within that. And it can feel very much like you are going 100 miles an hour in a car without your hands on the steering wheel, and that is like terrifying. But also you put your trust in these people around you, right, who I have to say, they, you know, everything's in the edit, and they made me look very nice and made me come across like in a way that I would want to come across.
You are very nice.
You are.
They faked it all. I mean, that's all. But no, but it was an amazing experience. I am very grateful to the show and what it did for me. It put me on the map, and it gave me like a viral moment, really, which has shaped the rest of my career. So I'm super grateful for it, but definitely emotionally and like physically and in every way, it like really consumed me.
Right.
And I would definitely consider that as one of my moments of trauma in life. Like that's how bad it was at some points. Right, like the press side of it was really difficult for me to deal with at that time. Now, like I'm kind of immune to it, really. But like that was how I had to learn, and it was very fast and overnight. Like there was people writing writing stories about me in the paper that were completely untrue and
Wow,
lies being
yeah.
fabricated, and
The media.
it was really, that was like really tough for me to deal with, because you also find out 24 hours before any story is going to hit the press.
Yeah.
So you find out, and that's almost worse. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
that 24 hours before is like
You
sleepless.
need to do like damage control or something.
Oh,
like
it's hell. And
preemptive.
the thing is, as that small ant in this like big powerful machine, there's actually nothing you can do about it, but you're running around scrambling, trying to fix something that's unfixable.
That's
And
crazy,
And that
yeah.
isn't even like true.
yeah, like, you know,
Yeah.
obviously, like there's like there was some things that were in the paper that were true from my past, like that I'd done and that I'd accepted for myself, but also like they then dramatize everything and fabricate
Right.
other stories around it. And
That is so tough.
and yeah, I found that really difficult to deal with. I was not ready for what was about to hit me. Like, I knew what the show was like. I knew like that is what happens, but until you actually like live in it and going
in
through
that
it,
world.
oh my
it's
God, it was
insane,
like
yeah.
it was terrifying, because again, you're just totally powerless and
But
all
you
this.
know what? You're ready for anything.
Yeah,
now.
now.
Listen, come
was
at me, bring me a bear in the
Bring
forest.
it.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
Bring it.
You know what I mean? Lions and
Don't
tigers
worry.
and bears, man. I'm fucking happy.
And also, you got fans, so we're here with you.
Aidan Army, let's go.
Wow. I mean, like, your story is amazing. And for me, I want to know, like, how was growing up? What's Aidan Martin before this
Wow.
whole chaos, but
Yeah.
into, you know, something great? How was your journey in as a singer?
I'm glad you asked that, actually, because a lot of people think like your story begins when we hear about you, you know, but before that
No.
moment,
Yeah.
there's
There's
so
a
much
lot,
hard
there's a
work and so
lot,
much.
yeah.
Yeah, so I grew up obviously in like just outside Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Oi,
Can I say
oi.
I love
Fuck on the time,
Newcastle.
So
I lived in Newcastle for 2 years.
No way.
Yes.
Where did you live?
Tynemouth.
Time out. It's nice
Whitney
down there.
Bay.
There's proper posh down
She
there.
lived
And
in
all.
the posh end,
Not the
okay.
accent's coming right. What's going on? That's nice. What were we doing there?
So I was working in a holiday park.
Oh wow. Were you
And
singing?
as a vocalist, yes.
Go on.
Yeah. That gave me trauma too.
We just exchanged trauma right now. She's really like.
But
Turn this into a therapy
I
session.
loved Newcastle, and if I am to move elsewhere around, will be Newcastle. I would go to. I
Yeah,
love
Newcastle is
Everyone's
lovely.
so lovely. Like
People
you,
are
look at you.
lovely.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah.
Newcastle is a vibe. I do love it there. I rarely go back now because most of my family came here. But yeah, I basically grew up in a place called Cleedon, which is like probably about half an hour from Tynemouth.
Okay.
It's like a little village, and probably like, I don't know, a couple, maybe 20,000 people, something like that. Totally made that up. It's probably about 3. But yeah, it was great there. Like, I grew up. I had my parents and my 2 sisters, and my sister, one of them sang as well. So like growing up, we used to just like sing in the back of the car and do my mum and dad's head in.
Oh, amazing.
But that's where that's where I learned harmony. That's where I learned like all of them basic stuff, because me and my sister would just like sing together, harmonize all the time. I used to just love it. And then started going to like stage school and do all that stuff, like course that little ginger kid like literally so annoying and so camp, and just like would smack me if I saw me now. No, I'm joking. But yeah, so like my mum basically like saw that I had a talent, right, and she decided like with me like we're gonna try and make this happen for you, and I was like, yeah. So
I love that. She's still at every show. That
literally she is like, she's still calling me now like, how's it going, how's it going, how's it going, how's it going. I'm like, mum,
love that.
mum, please. No, but she like was a massive supporter, so we would like send off for like TV shows and stuff when I was young. So I ended up like doing quite a lot of TV by the time I was like 10, and I was on like Stars and Rise Kids. I don't even remember that show. So I was on that, and then I did some like BBC One thing with like S Club 8, which is like those kids version. I won this big karaoke competition. You can still find the videos on YouTube. It's actually jokes. I'm
I'm
like,
gonna be researching this.
oh my god, Jesse, it's hilarious. Like when I'm drunk with my friends, I'm always like, remember this? And they're like, oh my god. So yeah, I did like a lot of TV. So I feel like I kind of got used to like being in the limelight quite young, really. And I think also in a way, like looking back, actually, I think that has definitely cost me in a way in my adult life, especially through my 20s, because, you know, I was like 11, 12, and being told like, because I know I had like a special voice for that age, and I could feel that from the reaction of people. And it was, you know, like when you're that age and you're being told all the time, like, wow, you're amazing. And like, oh my God, you're so... And like all the other kids are just like doing normal stuff. And here's
Just
me going
playing.
on. And then I was like, I'm invincible. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, that's how it kind of, as a child, that's how what you begin to believe.
Yeah.
And then suddenly I moved to London when I'm like, I was 17 actually, and then I'm like, all right, everything's just gonna come now because like I'm Aidan Martin. Do you know what I mean?
You moved to London at age 17.
17, yeah.
Wow.
Was it with your family or?
No,
just-
on my own.
Wow.
On my own,
Wow.
yeah.
London-
I think being gay and stuff, I was just like Newcastle. I was like, get me the hell out of here. Like honestly, I was like, I need to build my own life, you know.
Where did you land when you first arrived?
Look at Carl.
I was living on Edgware Road.
Oh wow.
Just so random, isn't it? I think I love shisha. I just follow the smoke. I was like, yeah. But yeah, so I started on Edgware Road, man. I moved in. I had a boyfriend then who I like moved in with, and I remember leaving my parents' house, and my mum was like crying at the door, and I was like, oh God, I feel bad. Should I go back? And I was like, no, definitely not. So I ended up, moving to London. And I think I feel like that. Having that experience as a child, like it made me feel a bit invincible. And when I moved to London, it was kind of like, shit, like these things aren't just going to come, and I'm just like one of many now. Do you know what I mean? And I think that was like difficult for me to deal with. And that's why really it took me until 26, 27 to like release any music and start doing anything. Because before that, I totally like lost myself. Do you know what I mean? I didn't know who I was anymore, to be honest.
Right.
So really through the music and through the songs and through Punchline and through like, it's made me find myself, you know? So yeah, that took a turn. Whew.
Yeah, that's amazing though.
But yeah, that's kind of how it is.
Wow. So when did you start writing music?
So I wrote my first song when I was 17 called
Yeah.
Step It Up. It was quite funny. Melodically, it was pretty good, I think.
I bet it was.
Yeah, but it was the first thing I ever wrote. And then I didn't write another song until I was 24. I was like, at that point in my sort of mid-20s, I was on a lot of drugs and basically like didn't want to be here anymore. I remember I had like a boyfriend at the time, and we were just like getting messed up like a lot, to be honest. But one thing I was doing throughout all that time is like I just started writing. I just had a piano and I was on my own. I would just like start writing songs, and I don't know, thinking back now, like it was just genuinely, it was just like it was a little escape for me through all of this like terrible shit that I was going through. And it was the most organic that I've ever written, actually, because now it's like so structured and so like this session, these people, but then it was just like me, heartache, and a piano, and like that's where I really found myself through writing songs. And then it was funny, like I heard this knock at the door one day, and I was living with my friend at the time and my boyfriend. I heard this knock at the door, and I opened the door, and there's this guy here with like two big builders behind him, and I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? I was like, is my song, am I too loud? Are the neighbors coming to like bollock me? The guy was like, is that you singing? Is that your songs? And I was like, I was like, my God. There's these like three big men at the door, and I'm like, shit. And yeah, I was like, yeah, it's me. He was like, listen, we own a studio down the road. He was like, are them your songs? Like, I would love you to come down. And so I was like, what?
Wow.
At this point, I was like getting high every day. Do you know what I mean? I was not in a good shape. And I remember like the meeting was like 2 days later, and I sorted myself out. Like I got off everything. I was like, because I was like, oh my God, I've actually got a chance to like get out of this right now. So I went down to the studio that day, and I signed my first publishing deal that very day. I played them my songs on piano, and I started writing professionally. And that's when like, it took me a while still to get out of that lifestyle, but slowly, day by day, it was like this tug of war between the art and what I really wanted to do my whole life, and this life that I just become accustomed to because I wanted to bury my head in the sand of who I thought I should be, who I wasn't at that time. So honestly, it was like a tug of war for like 2 years, and eventually like the art won. And that's why I'm here today and able to like do what I do. I sing about that pain, and that's why so many songs really have ended up being about drugs and being about that crazy life, is because that was like, that was a big part of my upbringing and my journey. So yeah, I'm very like grateful more than ever to be sat here, to be able to do music every day, to be able to write, to be alive, to be, because honestly it was like touch and go at one point. So I feel very like I live in gratitude always because of that.
You're so beautiful.
Oh, thanks. You too.
No, but I mean, like, just hearing
I'll be
that.
the partial door woman now to get gotcha.
Okay, I'll have you anytime.
Call me.
I've got all shy, Carl. I think you need to take this over.
I'm shy as well. I just had goosebumps when you were telling that story. So.
Seriously, and
Wow.
it's nice to hear that you started your journey quite, like, not late, but around your 20s and, well, mid-20s, and you found yourself. And I think for us all in the room as well, like, we're all artists, and we're trying to write, we're trying to make music, and it's quite challenging. So to hear that you've had a passion and you didn't let that go, and
100%. It's always been a side of me since I was a child. But you know, sometimes when you don't know what to do with it, you don't know anyone in the industry, you just feel so lost, and you're like an ant looking at the Grand Canyon thinking, fuck, I gotta climb this now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's like
One step at a time.
I mean, one little leg goes, and you're like, then you slip and fall back 10 spaces when you only got at one. Do you know what I mean? That's just how it is, though, innit? And I think, like, I look back at my journey now, and I'm like, how the fuck did I even get here? Like, I don't even know. And when some artists say, like, how do you start? And I'm like, my God, honestly, I can't even tell you. Like, I have no idea. It's just one day at a time, and it all rolls into a big fucking snowball. And, do you know what I mean? And there's no other way. Everyone's journey is so different. And so, like, you hear so many artists, everyone's got such a different story. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Oh.
Beautiful.
So, yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Go on, man. Hit me.
Okay.
Not like that.
No, literally.
Okay, calm down.
Calm down, Sergio.
We're on a
Don't
podcast.
just
I'll
punch.
sue you.
It's
No.
okay. My question is, if you were not a singer, what would you be doing? What is something that gets you interested in apart from music?
That's always such a hard question. And I was actually staring in the mirror a month ago, asking myself the very same question.
Okay.
Because sometimes as an artist, as a musician, you get so wrapped up and consumed by music. And now my whole life has been like, you know, I teach sometimes now as well, and it's an important part of what I do. Developing some artists as well, and like it's quite. I just love all facets of music, so I've now kind of like unraveled myself within so many different forms of music. So I have a different experience every day, all related to music. But I was only asking myself that question the other day. Like someone was like, "So what are your hobbies?" And I was like. Music. They're like anything that's not music, and I'm like, well, teaching music. Can we just focus on the teaching bit? No. And it's true. Like it's actually like a difficult question to answer. But one thing that I always did love growing up, which is so random, but I was obsessed with Property Ladder, Sarah Beanie. Do you remember that? Where they like do up homes and then sell them on, right? So I was like, ooh. I want to do that. And then I realized you got to have money to buy a house in the first place. I was all right, shit. So what do I do now? And then someone, you know, when you go to connections office at 17 and they're like, so what do you want to be? And I was like, well, I want to be a property developer, but I need money to do that. So I'm going to be a building surveyor. So I was like, my plan was to be a surveyor until I was like 23. And then I was like, okay, I'll have to do the music thing. So in answer to your question, I'd probably be a building surveyor, which would be like the most fucking random job ever. But I kind of love property. Gives me a bit of a kick, even though I'm only renting and I don't own a house yet. But I will at some point. But I do also love badminton. FYI, I love going down to the local leisure centre and having a bit of a bat. So I'd take myself as an Olympian badminton player. Let's go for that. But yeah, it's hard sometimes though. Don't you guys think like when it's like, what else are you into? It's like anything creative, and that is true. Like anything that involves creativity, I love.
We all dedicate our life to what we're
music,
doing, and there's not really that much room left for other things because it really is what it is.
Yeah, and music.
Yourself, and that's that.
And like music chose us, and we chose music, and we're like, hold hands, let's go. And like, I don't want to cheat on you. Do you know what I mean? We're together, music. I'm not going to cheat on you with badminton or building surveyors. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to do that to you.
I think you should write a song about that.
Yeah. I cheated on you with a shuttlecock.
So, I guess the last two questions I want to lead over to.
Do it.
Or the last.
Do it.
The current single is Surrender. That's quite awesome. I love
that you edited the video.
Yes.
And an amazing job that you did.
Stop it. No,
Yes.
that's not why I'm bringing it up. But because it's your current single, I wanted to hear a little bit about that and the story with that one. And then, yeah, also if you want to give us like a little bit of a preview of what's to come next, I'd love that too.
Yeah, all right.
Ooh.
So yeah, Surrender. We're on 2023 shit. We've moved forward a lot. I think so I just like signed with Polydor Island in part of Universal in Germany, which has been really exciting. We're working with a team, an independent label as well called We4, who are just amazing and killing it at the moment. And it just felt like I came across their desk and I was in a place where I was deciding really where to go next. And they took me on and we had this like big meeting about what I want to do next. And I just wanted to really like evolve my sound and take it forward to the next level. And I still like, obviously the soul element is really important to me. And I feel like with Surrender, we kind of found this juxtaposition between like some Motowny kind of melodies in the chorus, but with this like synth 80s sound. And I was just really enjoying playing with that. And I guess I wanted to show to my fans really that like there's other parts of Aidan. Like I'm very like, as you can tell, kind of loud for a joggy person. I hope.
Love it. We love it.
I love being like that. Yeah, no other way. But you know, I feel like the sad songs have hidden that part of me. Do you know what I mean? I've hid behind this kind of voice of woe is me. And yes, it is true because we all go through heartbreak and it feels bad. But also there's these other sides to me that I wanted to show as well. And I feel like Surrender kind of did that. And I got to make an amazing music video in LA that I loved making so much that I got to just be another version of myself that I didn't even know was within me. And it's just been an amazing process of me like getting to know who I am and getting to know other parts of me. And
I love the sound of that single.
Yes,
That's such a cool sound. It
Thanks,
just
mate.
takes me exactly to where you guys said you wanted to go, to like
like this
modern
future
pop. It's
retro
like future,
world.
Back to the future. It's like wow.
Yeah, it was fun. And I just love making it. And I absolutely loved editing it with you so much. Like Carl's been involved in like most of my things since the beginning of time, like Hurting You and what else did we do? I mean everything from the very beginning. My first music video ever, Carl directed.
Oh.
So we go way back. So
Carl
it
is
was really nice to
amazing.
have you on this project. And yeah, I love the song. It's doing well. We're like just in the top 100 on German Airplay chart.
Yeah.
So it's like
As a
climbing
German,
up.
I approve.
So that's really exciting. And yeah, I'm just kind of planning really what the next single will be. I'm probably going to be releasing that early next year. Carrying on with this 80s synthy, Motowny kind of
Nice.
vibe. And haven't decided what song that is yet, but stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
I'm
Well.
excited.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. It's exciting.
Cool. Yes.
Yeah. Shall we end
Didn't
it
you have
there?
another question, I think?
Yeah, go for it if you do.
Oh, I do? Yes. So as Carl was saying, do you have anything that you're working on that you could give us a preview of? Maybe like a little line.
Or
Oh
upcoming
my
shows
God.
or anything.
We love spoilers.
It's just spoilers
Oh,
on
she wants-
that.
okay.
Oh,
Yes.
she wants melodies this song.
Yes, if you are allowed, it's okay. If not, you can sing it to me after, just to me.
Well, you know, I've been like touching on my little gay subject recently
Ooh,
and
okay.
trying to. I wrote a song not too long ago called "Same Love,"
Okay.
and I mean, I can tell you a bit of the lyric. It was like, "Kill the lights, I'm ready to take this off. You and I were different, but got the same love." And it was kind of talking really to our straight counterparts. And just to say, like, you know, like, especially in Newcastle, I felt like I grew up in a time that was like a little homophobic, if I'm honest. Obviously that was not everybody there, but it definitely felt like when I was going out at 18 in Newcastle, like, and I was definitely wearing like these big feathery fur scarves and definitely camper than I am now. I kind of balanced into who I am, but
Yeah.
I was quite extravagant back then. And I guess, yeah, it's kind of like a song kind of saying to people like, you know, we are different and we're all different and we're all so different. That's what makes the world amazing.
Exactly.
We're different, but we've got the same love, the same love
Yeah.
for our mother, the same love for our father, the same love for everybody around us and also for each other. So I'm just excited about, I've really stepped into like being a gay artist, but also being a gay man and got like comfortable with who I am. I'm so in love now. I've been with someone for 4 years, known them for 12. Like, it's my absolute life. And I'm I'm just getting more open about that, and I want to represent my community at the same time as doing music that's commercial.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to just entering in a space where like I can just really be who I am unapologetically and release music that I believe in and that I'm proud of, and whatever happens after that doesn't really matter to me, because I'm getting to tell my truth and who I am and my story, and that's what makes me sleep at night.
Yes. Wow. Yes.
And a Xanax occasionally.
I could hear this at church.
I'll put a lot of
You're
reverb.
the choir guys, come on.
I'll put a lot of
me.
reverb at the end.
You can be my omen. Is it like my omen? Is it how you say it? I don't even know English anymore.
No, it is. That's it.
It's whatever you want it to be.
I want it to be. But yeah, so Aidan, one last thing before we go off. Could I ask you to give an advice? What would you say to new artists out there that want to represent the music or put their music out there?
I think, you know, what I always wish that someone had said to me when I was in this position, because that's the only way that I can really figure it, is like, you can get so lost by what's around you and the music industry in general. And, you know, my biggest dream really was to sign a record deal, but like, that is like the beginning of everything, and people think it's the end of everything, and it's not. Like, and there's just so much like, look at what this person's doing, look what that, and I'm human. I still go through it now. I see people like going like multi-viral on TikTok, and hear me still trying to slave away and feel like I'm not getting anywhere. We're always gonna have stuff around us where we feel like we could be doing better, where we feel like. But one thing I've just really realized is like, the more your mind floats out of your own, and the less you're thinking about who you are and what you want to say, and what you, like, you've really just got to focus on that, because Punchline was just that for me, like me just speaking from my heart in a room with the Lord, like with people that I'd never met before, and we just wrote this song together, and it was my truth. And it's truth and authenticity that like transpires. That's what people connect to. And the minute you started like be that starry artist, that's when like shit goes down the pan. Like, you've just got to really remain true to yourself and just not stop and just do your own thing. Ignore everyone. Have blinkers on and look straight forward at you and what you're doing and what you want to do, and do the work. Nothing comes for free in life. You've got to work your ass off. You've got to work your ass off.
It never ends.
It never ends. And trust me, even now, guys, some days I wake up and I'm like, I'm done with this. I can't be asked anymore, because it is so hard, and it's emotionally like runs you down to the ground. But like, you just got to remember every day, you just got to like keep on going, keep throwing that shit at the ball until it sticks.
A good one,
do you know what I mean? You just can't stop. So yeah, my advice would be, don't ever give up on yourself, and keep on believing in yourself, and keep on working at what you want to do, and don't listen to anybody else.
I'm going to call you for a daily reminder.
As long as it's after 11 a.m. I'm not going to lie, you know, right?
I need you. Tell me what I need to hear.
My God, I just bashed my fucking veneer on the microphone, guys. My teeth are going to fall out. No, but thank you so much. I want to say thank you so much for having me, guys. You know, today, like having meetings today, music, and I was feeling a bit, it's so nice to like sit here and think about the good parts of it. And I'm going to walk out of here happier than I walked in. So I appreciate y'all.
Oh, we appreciate you.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Sing.
Sing.